November 6th, 2020, writing. The following slide will contain a writing prompt. After reading the prompt, you must solve it and respond with a written mathematical explanation of how you solved the problem using 2 vocabulary words. All right, so if we go to our next slide here, it says our prompt is solve for the product of 3 3/10 and 57/100. Then explain in words how you solved the problem using at least 2 vocabulary words. All right, so we know that product means multiply, right? Yeah, so we're going to multiply these two numbers. So we have 3 3/10. I'll make that into like a purple color. Ooh, yeah. And then 57/100. I'll also make that into a purple color. So those are the two numbers we are going to multiply. Now, remember, when we are multiplying, we do not have to line up our decimals. We just ignore them. So let's do 3 3/10 times 57/100. Perfect, 57/100. Awesome. All right, now I'm going to take my little, there we go. Perfect. I'm going to put this over here. All right, so now we have our problem. 3 3/10 times 57/100. All right, so what we're going to do first? Well, we take the 7 and we multiply it through. 7 times 3 is 21. So I'm going to carry that 2, drop that 1. 7 times 3 again, 21 plus 2, 22, 23. So 23. Am I done? No, not yet. We're done with this remainder. We're also done with this 7. So I'm going to cross the 7 out. And now, since I'm crossing the 7 out, that means we're going to move over to our next placeholder. So, or our next place value, sorry. So we need to put a placeholder of 0 under this 1. So now we can move on to our next digit. So 5 times 3 is going to be what? Well, I know that's 15. So I'm going to carry that 1, drop that 5. 5 times 3 is 15 again, plus 1 is 16. 16. All right, what do I do with these two numbers now? Add them. Good, good, good. We are going to add them. All right, so when we add them, 1 plus 0 is going to be 1. 3 plus 5 is 8. 2 plus 6 is also 8. And then 0 plus 1 is 1. Now, is my answer 1,881? No, what did we forget to do? We forgot to put in the decimals. All right, so our decimals, let's see how many spaces or how many digits we move in with our decimals. So starting out here in 1, so there's in 1. Let's take a look here. So that was in 1. There we go. In 2, in 3. So we move in 3 total. So in 1, in 2, in 3. So we swoop 3 times. So let's swoop 3 times in our answer. 1, 2, 3. So our decimal is going to go between that 1 and that 8 in the beginning here. So our answer is going to be 1 881 thousandths. Awesome. All right, now we have our problem, we have our product, we have our solution. We need to write about it. Perfect. Easy peasy. We can do this. All right, so first, well, what did we do? Well, first, we lined up our decimal point or our numbers to the right when we ignored the decimals. So first, line up your numbers to the right, ignoring the decimal point positions. So first, line up your numbers to the right, ignoring the decimal point positions. What do we do next? We started to multiply. So next, multiply the 7 in 57/100 by both of those 3's. By both 3's in 3 3/10. Still ignoring that decimal. Also regrouping as needed. So next, multiply the 7 in 57 hundredths by both 3's in 3 and 3/10. Still ignoring the decimal points, regrouping as needed. All right, now what we did then, so then, well, we put our placeholder 0, remember? So then put a placeholder 0 below the ones place of the products you just found. So remember, so after we found the product of 7 times 3 and 7 times 3 again, we had 231. So under that one, the ones place, we're going to put a placeholder 0. So then put a placeholder 0 below the ones place of the product you just found. After, well, we multiplied that 5 through, right? So multiply the 5 in 57 hundredths by both 3's in 3 and 3/10, regrouping as there we go, as needed, and find the sum, I can't type today, and find the sum of your two products. So after, multiply the 5 in 57 hundredths by both 3's in 3 and 3/10, regrouping as needed, and find the sum of your two products. So we then found our sum of our two products. Finally, we count the number of digits. We have to put that decimal point back in. So finally, count the number of digits behind the decimal points in the original problem and move the decimal points that many digits to the left in your final answer to get the value of 1 and 881 thousandths. So finally, count the number of digits behind the decimal points in the original problem and move the decimal point that many digits to the left in your final answer to get the value of 1 and 881 thousandths. All right, so what do we need to still do though? So we wrote about it, we solved it, we wrote about it, but now we need to figure out and make sure that we have two vocabulary words. So I know that product is a vocabulary word because that's the answer to a multiplication problem. I'm going to highlight that. And also there's that word product. Sum I know is a vocab word because sum is the answer to an addition problem. Anything else? Value. The value is that total. I know that is also a vocab term. So the value is that total or the answer. So there, we have 3 vocab words. So we exceeded our 2. Awesome. And that is it for our writing. Great job.